Now, this illustration deals with roofs subject to pedestrian or vehicular travel in accordance with exception 1 to 230.24a. Now, notice that overhead drop is running across that roof, that roof, and connecting to that riser. Now, everywhere that conductor passes over that roof, you must have a minimum of 8 foot in accordance with 230.24a, but the exception 1 will allow you to penetrate that roof more than just 6 foot. Now, the basic rule is that you're not supposed to penetrate the roof area with a drop more than 6 foot. Now, I have seen existing jobs where that drop you see was maybe only 6 foot or 4 foot above that roof. And there was one time at the city of Fort Worth that we had to go out and investigate where a roofer got shocked. And it was old tree insulation on that drop. And it peeled, and there were some bare spots. And he just reached up while putting on a new roof on an existing building. He just reached up to move the drop and slide under it. He got a hold of the bare wire, and it began to shock him in the position he was in and what he was touching. And the other roofer, his buddy, he saw he was getting shocked, and he took the drop where he was and grabbed it and kind of moved it and just threw him off of the roof. And it hurt him more throwing him off of that roof. But if that drop had been 8 foot across there, like's required in more modern editions of the code, that would have never happened. But our utility, Texas Electric at the time, and Texas Utilities later, they would not hook up any service, no matter what, if that drop penetrated that roof more than 6 foot and it wasn't up at least 8 foot. And then later in the editions of the code, we found out that conductors, especially overhead conductors on utility poles, might even penetrate that roof. And that became very dangerous. We had a roofer that was shocked severely and almost died because he was mopping down a flat roof, and the back of his aluminum, in those days they used aluminum moppers, for the roof. He got that into, of all things, into a transformer terminal. Damn near killed him, see. So the rule then was put in, no, you got to be over at least 3 foot and then up 8 foot. And then that distance would keep those conductors from the roof area and give more protection for anybody gaining access and walking on a flat roof. So looking at 230.24a, exception 1, our figure -13a illustrates the 8 foot and 3 foot rule and how it should be applied when you're routing service drops over a building or even feeders over a building would have the same rule. When we went over and looked at 225, I believe it's 225.18 is what we would review, same rule. So keep this in mind when you're, for any reason, you had to route completely across a roof to get to a termination point for the service drop. It's very important where you install this service. It would be better to install that service at the left side of the building, and then that drop wouldn't cross the roof. But if for some reason you had to cross the roof, these are the requirements that have to be complied with.